So, Resident Evil 9 came out recently, genuinely one of the most beautiful games I've played in a super long time. Even just looking at this beginning sequence, I was shocked at how realistic everything actually looked. The atmosphere is incredible, I was getting totally immersed, I was ready to get scared. So now, take all that and imagine an AI chews it up, spits it out on a plate, and it's good. Here you go, this is better. DLSS5 on. This is DLSS5, a new technology NVIDIA showcased recently on their Twitter, where it apparently takes the models and textures of games and kind of swaps it out for the Gen AI versions. I'm not going to be able to explain how it all works because I'm not a scientist, okay? But understandably, a lot of people are upset by this. So I wanted to give my 2 cents, considering I've talked about this kind of thing in the past. Now, if you're coming to this video expecting me to scream from the rooftops about AI's bad, you're killing a rainforest every time you ask ChatGPT how to reply to an email, you're not going to get that from me. But since the CEO of NVIDIA said we were wrong for being angry about seeing this kind of thing, I think it's time we revisit the topic, since things have changed quite a bit since my last video. I also might have been a little wrong back then, so I'm here to correct the record. The NVIDIA post itself was just taking a lot of games, some more modern and some older, and showing what it looked like with the filter on and off. It's not a filter, it's a neural technology. Okay, I'm just gonna call it a filter, okay? That's what it is to me. Most people, including myself, didn't think that any of the games really benefited from this, except maybe Starfield. But that's because Bethesda character models are usually yeah. But for a majority of this little showcase they did, it just felt like an attempt to make the characters more attractive by making them shinier for some reason, I guess, and maybe giving them a few more wrinkles or two. Now, I know what you're thinking. The obvious answer that everyone's gonna say is, oh, just disable it, you don't have to use it, it won't bother you. I get that, and I would've just left it at that, but after seeing the response from the NVIDIA CEO to all the backlash with his take that is pretty much, this is very different from Gen AI, it's content-controlled Gen AI. For simpler terms on those who aren't as tech savvy, he's basically saying that, dude, this isn't poop. This is fecal matter, okay? It's different. Getting upset at the general public, especially with how AI is treated nowadays and all the labels it has, the people who consume artistic media in nature, by the way, and telling them that they're all wrong because it's actually this and not that, is just a really tone-deaf way to respond to the actual complaints of the people who don't want this shit in their games. We can all disagree on the amount of Gen AI that's okay to use in games, or should it be a tool or not a tool, or totally swear it off, make it illegal. We all have different ways that we think about this kind of thing. If you ask a general person, are you okay with playing a game that's made by AI? They would probably say no. Getting things more realistic is not the reason why I play games. I play games to have an experience, which is provided by the people who make the games. If I put this slop filter over Stellar Blade, sure, Eve's ass might look a little shinier, okay, but that is not gonna help the god-awful story, all right? It's carried by things that people actually care about, you know, like, is the game fun? I'm just sick of the rat race to make things more realistic, to make it look just like real life, identical to real life. And it's not like I don't like hyper-realistic games, I play them all the time, but that's not what makes a game to me. And for the people who are saying, dude, this is the future technology, it's the future, you just don't understand it. Dude, we're not in the 1990s anymore. You're not gonna see a jump from pixels to 3D models. You're gonna see a rock get, what, 10% more rock-like? Who cares? That 10% to get to the hyper-realism that tech bros are frothing at the mouth over is not worth sacrificing artistic intention to me. Now, this is a huge topic, is artistic intention, so I want to go into it a little bit. When I buy a game, it is to see the game for what it is. I want to know what the people who made the game intended it for it to be when I play it. I don't want to know an interpretation of intention by some algorithm, LLM. Now, I'm not saying AI shouldn't be used as a tool by artists. I stand on the line of I think it has its uses in some areas. The reason why I'm here at this point is because I don't think it's really going anywhere. But I respect and understand people who totally swear it off. I totally get it. In these specific examples provided by NVIDIA, they're doing things like aging grandma up to 90 instead of 70, which to me is like, okay, well, you added a few extra wrinkles and made her shinier. This adds nothing to the game. It does nothing for me. I don't get any more immersed by looking at grandma, all right? And it is possible to go too hyper-realistic and just swing back around to uncanny, which to me is worse than non-hyper HD graphics. There is a bar for realism. It's just real life. You go outside and there's your bar, it's right there. Once you go past that, the term real just loses all meaning. We're trying to get real as possible. Okay, then when you're as real as possible, what are you after that? You're not real anymore. Does it get too real? And I know, it's an option. You can turn it off. And I don't plan to use it. I actually use AMD. Why am I making this video? I just would want games to get a better focus on story and atmosphere immersion than chasing things. And I know NVIDIA is like a tech company. They're not making games as far as I'm aware. They might be. When I look at games, it's not the quality of Silent Hill 2's models or textures that make me unnerved. It's how they all artistically come together and create that really creepy setting I can place myself in when I'm playing. It's the characters and the interactions and dialogue and gameplay of Expedition 33 that made it Game of the Year for me. Taking all of this stuff and saying, ChatGPT, give me a better version where Gustav looks like he belongs in a Netflix series. That just doesn't do it for me. DLSS5 in general just kind of seems insulting all around to all sorts of people, like the people who work on the games and the people who buy them, and I'm just really not for it. I still am under the opinion that people will naturally gravitate towards games that are just good games when everything comes together, and any AI gen stuff will not be any pull for any reason of why you would buy a card or have this option on or anything like that. But I've complained enough. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next one.